One of the questions I get asked most often is, do I need a serger to sew knits? My answer, absolutely not. In fact, in most cases, you can't sew an entire garment with a serger. Hi, I'm Lisa, the owner and designer of Pink Holly Bush Patterns, a line of patterns for children's garments, most of which include an option for smocking and most of which are sewn with knit fabrics. And so I get asked this question a lot. And in today's video, I want to explain exactly what you do need and why you don't need that serger. Okay, you can see my serger sitting there. I have a serger. I love a serger. But here's the thing. While a serger does give you a lot of stretch, it's really kind of limited on what it can do. It just doesn't offer you the preciseness that you often need to sew a great garment. It's hard to go around curves. If you're trying to sew something in the round, starting and stopping doesn't give you a nice clean finish. And the seam that it does produce, at least on a home serger, is quite a bit looser than one you're going to get with a regular sewing machine. If you've ever sewn it and then pressed it open, you kind of can see the stitching in there. So, what do you need? Just your basic zigzag sewing machine. And as long as you have that, you have everything you need. Now, that basic zigzag sewing machine, it probably has a number of stretch stitches on it that you may have never realized were there or didn't really play with to figure out how they worked. But even if you don't, if your machine is so basic that it just does a zigzag, if it can do a zigzag, you can sew with knit garments. So what do? Well, all of Pink Holly Bush Patterns recommend using what I call a slight zigzag. And what is that? Well, it's a width of 0.5 to 1.5 and a length of 2.5. It will actually pretty much look like a straight stitch. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Get some knit fabric. I recommend just a basic cotton knit. Get a rectangle of it, fold it in half so it's doubled. Go over to your machine, set it for that slight zigzag, and just sew down. And then see what you got. See? There's still some stretch to it. It has some give. I'm not popping any stitches. And so with that, you can sew any knit garment. As I mentioned, all of Pink Holly Bush Patterns, well, I do tell you in the pattern different places you can use your serger. You cannot sew any of those with just a serger, okay? None of the necklines can be done on the serger. They need to be done on the sewing machine. So, what's holding you back from trying a garment that's made out of knits? Well, if you need more help, I have two resources for you. The first one is my new Just the Basics Get Started with Knits mini course. In this course, there's 4 videos that will walk you through the absolute basics, okay? And will give you, explain the notions you need, what knit fabric you should start with, and then garment recommendations for a first knit garment for both children's wear and adult patterns. So the link for that is below. A second resource I have for you is the Enjoying the World of Knits book and companion fabric pack. This book walks you through all the different knit fabrics. It comes with swatches so you can actually feel and understand the different knits. It goes through helpful notions, how to prepare a project, and then includes step-by-step directions for 7 different necklines, because on a knit garment, the neckline makes or breaks it. It also includes instructions on how to hem a garment. Make sure you avoid a wavy hem, especially if you are using the sewing machine and you don't have access to a cover stitch machine, which I don't. My wonderful serger is not a cover stitch, it's just a serger. So I hope all of that will encourage you to give knit garments a try and not to be intimidated that if you don't own a serger that you can't sew knits. Happy sewing!